Thanks for joining us here at WYCC.org for In the Loop, the After Show. Welcome back to our guests, philanthropy strategist Lisa Dietland, columnist and author Anthony Stanford, and talk show host tsi-tsi-ki Felix. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
In Springfield, they're showing off the newly remodeled Capitol with air conditioning and $700,000 copper doors, some opulent chandeliers, new furniture for some of the lawmakers there. The state is billions of dollars in debt in the pension crisis. Lisa, is this any time to remodel?
You know, I applaud the state and the leaders for thinking about restoration of the Capitol and bringing it up to code back to the 1800s. But I would say we live in the 21st century and we have some real problems that need to be addressed first. I think the doors were fine. The glass doors that were there before with the handles that were the seal of the state. I don't know why such opulence was needed at a time. I do get some of the infrastructure. You have to look at the air conditioning, the plumbing, the heating. We don't want our state capitol or state buildings burning or having some sort of serious issues happening. But opulence should be downplayed in this economy, in my opinion.
Anthony, does this say something about the state's priorities at a time like this?
I believe it does, and I agree with Lisa. I also would expand it to the fact that infrastructure in Illinois overall and throughout the country is suffering. And to see this kind of spending at the taxpayers' expense on doors, on the restoration of the Capitol, is good to some people, but not for all of Illinois.
Tsi-tsi-ki.
I completely agree. I completely understand that it's not the time for that kind of rehabilitation for a building. However, we got to think always, who's bringing this information? Who's a person monitoring what's going on, putting it on the media and talking about it? And it's always all about politics.
And why wasn't it brought to our attention sooner, I would say? You know, that yes, you want to make decisions, but did it all have to be done at one time? You know, many of us in our homes want to make improvements. And we say, okay, I'm going to fix the bathroom this year. I'm going to put the new carpet in or paint the walls. Did it all have to be done at one time? And where were those controls?
Yeah.
And doors, $700,000 for the doors. They must be the most fantastic doors anyone
Well, and they
has ever
say,
seen.
Chris, that they were replicas of what was there originally. So my question is, where are the original doors? You know, where did they go? And, you know, is there a way to get them back?
And will you need gloves to open them?
And who's going to keep the copper shiny? I mean, where's that expense? We all know copper, you know, it turns to that green.
Illinois, as you know, just legalized medical marijuana. There was a lady who helped push that law through, who had a number of medical issues. Prior to this becoming law, she was arrested for using medical marijuana and is now no longer eligible to use medical marijuana, even though she has 4 of the conditions that are illegal to use this.
Including back surgery. She suffered back surgery.
I believe she's going to be
Spinal
the exception, or at least that's my hope, given the fact that with her history, the pain that she's going through, she definitely will be one of the people that she'll be eligible. You know,
She should be
regardless of that.
grandfathered in. I mean, there should be an opportunity for exceptions to be made. You know, there are laws, and then there are ways that many of us think about, you know, how can we get around it, or how can we work with the law? And I think she's one of those. You know, Illinois has one of the most progressive expungement, sealing, and clemency processes in the country. And, you know, one of the groups I work with, it takes 10 years. You have to wait 10 years for your record to be clean, 10 years when you have a felony, before you can appeal for clemency from the governor. I think this is a case where perhaps there should be some clemency granted for her felony conviction.
Anthony, do you think that Governor Quinn could step up and do this, and the fact that election year may not hurt him?
I believe that he should step up and do it, and not only for this woman. I believe that individuals who have pre-existing conditions and were caught in a situation where they use medical marijuana to treat their symptoms, that they should be given this consideration for clemency. And I don't think that it would hurt the governor at all to do that.
You know, America is a very forgiving country. You know, we love comebacks, we love second chances, and this woman deserves a second chance to have access to medical marijuana. She runs a nonprofit organization, she's helping children, she's helping families. I mean, this is a person who, you know, was convicted of a nonviolent crime that happens to be classified as a felony. And we know our prisons are filled with many nonviolent offenders who happen to have been caught in this drug crackdown, you know, the zero tolerance policy. She wasn't using it recreationally. She wasn't distributing it. She was using it for a medical reason that exists, as you pointed out, Chris, as one of the reasons people can use it today legally.
All right, we'll leave it there. Lisa Dietland and Anthony Stanford, tsi-tsi-ki Felix. Great conversation. Thank you for your time.
Be sure to check out In the Loop every week, Thursday nights at 7. Thanks for joining us here at WYCC.org, and we'll see you next time.